Welcome to The Real Review, sponsored by Parametric and the Lazy Ape Studios, where you get some of the latest happenings, real thoughts, and perspectives in the world of film and television. Almost ran out of breath there, Matt.
Oh, man.
Whew.
I'm glad you didn't.
I know.
You
I just
would
took
have
a drink.
died.
I would have died.
Yes.
Might have passed out briefly.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Hopefully you would have resuscitated me, given me some CPR.
Yep.
Can I count on you?
Maybe.
Cool. Well,
I'm not certified.
Well, I would. Yeah, I guess then don't do that. Maybe
Okay.
just call an ambulance. Today we're talking about the coming soon films. We haven't done one of these in a very long time, Matt. Have we?
Been a while.
Yes, we felt like we had some time. We wanted to throw one of these together, so
Yeah.
we'll see how this goes. But this is what we talked about, the films that are going to be coming out in the next little while, things we're excited for, and had maybe some additional thoughts.
Probably
and
over the next month or so, because when summer movie season, which arguably is already started potentially,
Yep.
But when it starts getting going, it's like every week there's something new.
Correct.
So, well, every week there's usually something new, but every week there's something new that we want to see.
Agreed.
Or try to see. So
Yeah, we're rolling into that.
yeah. So we want to maybe cover the next month and a half or so, and just kind
Yes.
of go over what's up with that.
Sounds good. So we're going to talk about 3 films. Ready Player One, Rampage, Pacific Rim Uprising. Do you want to approach these in any order, Matt?
Let's do an order of release. So it'd be Pacific Rim Uprising comes out a week from this Friday.
All right, let's start with that.
Yeah.
So John Boyega stars as the rebellious Jake Pentecost. I don't think that has any religious significance. A once promising Jaeger pilot whose legendary father gave his life to secure humanity's victory against the numerous Kaiju, sorry.
Yeah.
Wow, how dare I?
Come on.
John Boyega, it's got Scott Eastwood, Tian Jing, Kaylee Spaney. I don't think I got that right. Bern Gorman, Charlie Day, Adria Arhan, and Rinko Kikuchi.
Nailed it.
I
have
bet
no
I did
idea,
not.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, so what are your some and directed by Stephen S. DeKnight.
I'm excited for this movie, man. It's not. I think I'm gonna have a similar experience like what I did with Guillermo's Pacific Rim, and it's gonna be just a spectacle, big, fun, dumb. I think that's exactly what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And because that's what the first one was,
Right.
And it was a fun movie, and it's not an amazing movie, but it's something that you can have fun. I think there needs to be movies like that. I don't think every movie should try and be 100% serious. There needs to be movies that actually want to just to entertain, you know, purely.
Yeah.
And I think this movie has that possibility. I love John Boyega, and it's cool because he's Idris Elba's son, and
Fast forward.
not in real life,
Right.
in the movie series,
yeah.
Jake Pentecost's son.
Yeah.
And I think that this. Well, did I say Jake Pentecost? I meant his dad, whatever his first name was. I think it's just gonna be fun, big fun, dumb movie, and I think it has potential. I think I need to stop watching trailers because they're showing like whole action sequences now.
Yeah.
And it's bothering me because I want to experience some of that in the theater. I think some of the wide scopes that they have on this, that DeKnight has kind of seemed like they're directing it to be, is they're giving it some scale and making it like a big spectacle. And I think that's the direction they're taking it. I think it'll be fun.
I think you're right. I would say my misgivings with this, obviously,
Misgivings.
Yeah, obviously I'm going to have those. I thought the first one was perfectly, in a sense, balanced. It felt like just the right amount of over-the-top, ridiculous. I thought the acting was lacking in the first one.
Sure, yeah.
Not with every character, but specifically with a couple of the main cast characters. But it felt
accents were off.
Yeah, it felt perfectly balanced in the sense
Yeah.
that like it just had the right amount of cheese with over-the-top action, with not complex, but it kind of dipped its toes into like another world, like the alien world and kind of how that works. And it felt enjoyable, it didn't feel like I was trying to get so much rammed down my throat. It didn't feel like they were just doing cheesy for cheesy's sake. It just felt like it knew what it was, and it was just going for that in a very straight line. And I loved it for that. It was like one of my favorites of that year. Even if I didn't like give it like top 10, it was still a really enjoyable film for me.
2013, yeah.
Yeah. What I'm afraid with this one is that it's gotten so much the Hollywood treatment, where they've gone like, we're going to do more robots and we're going to do more aliens and we're going to expand this to an entire universe where we have like all these planets and things and forces. And it's like, I don't need that with this. Like, I literally just want it to be what you're talking about, which is like a sit down popcorn, silly little romp.
Yeah.
Like more intelligent than the Power Rangers remake.
Yeah.
But not so crazy that it's like the Independence Day remake. You know what I mean? Or sequel, I should say, where it like turned into like all this, lore and weirdness and stuff like that, which I didn't think was the worst movie ever.
I thought it was maybe up there.
You didn't like it, right? I thought it was a bit too much, you know, and I'm feeling like that's what they're going to do with this as well. Is they're going to make it a bit too much.
Oh yeah, huh?
So that's my fear.
I didn't get that vibe, but we'll see.
I'm just like in the back of my head, I'm like, I know you, Hollywood. I know how you
comes
act.
Comes out in a week and a half. Well, I guess we'll see.
This is the optimist, versus the critical guy.
Right, yeah.
Cool. So let's go to the next one then. If
RPO.
RPO, bro. What are your thoughts?
Ready Player One. I'm more excited about this because of what I'm hearing from the positive buzz from South by Southwest. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know, South by Southwest is a festival where not just film, but a lot of different arts and a lot of different things are debuted and shown and showcased and all that stuff. And they released, it got on my radar because I know I had talked about this in our movie review segment, but A Quiet Place got really, really awesome reviews, which comes out April 6th, that I'm really excited about. But for Ready Player One, I wasn't really looking forward to it. Some of it has to do with the fact that I don't know the property and just seems kind of out there to me. The other aspect is Steven Spielberg. He hasn't really drawn me to the theaters in a long time.
Yeah, his films have been like
yeah. And so I've kind of been like, I don't know. This one I'm excited to see more so because of the nostalgia element of it, and I think the buzz is getting me a little bit more excited about it.
Yeah.
And the only complaint I've heard so far about this movie, the people that have seen it, is just that it's overkill on the nostalgia. But I think that has to do.
That's the book.
It's a point of it, right?
That's the point of that was my main critique of the book. We talked about this in our movie review segment, so feel free to listen to that if you want some more thoughts, additional perspectives. I felt like the book went so far into all the nostalgia that it lacked real character development at times. What I'm hoping is that Steven Spielberg, being a guy that knows good story, really fleshed those character elements out.
Yeah, I hope that it looks. I mean, visually it looks awesome,
right?
And I don't think Spielberg has ever had a problem with his visuals,
except for some of the stuff with BFG. But BFG altogether was a bit of a, you know what I mean?
I thought I kind of like the BFG. I went with my son.
95% of the time.
Yeah.
He nails it with the visuals.
Yeah.
So I'm not super concerned about that. I will say some of the animated stuff looks a little cartoony. Some of the the
avatars,
in the Oasis world.
Yeah,
because the story is a kid goes into this virtual world called Oasis. It's kind of like Willy Wonka, which I will say the promotional material that they've been using, the trailers are amazing. I don't know if you probably
music.
seen it, but
I like the music.
Yeah, it starts out with the Willy Wonka,
and then it ends on the Back to the Future.
Yeah, Sticks. Yeah. Well, it goes into like the Sticks song, and it was just like killer. I thought the trailer was beautiful. My biggest concern with it is just that, again, it's going to be too much of a nostalgia romp. And as mentioned in the review thing, my fear is like it's too much of just specifically a Spielberg nostalgia romp.
Okay.
I'm wanting them to incorporate more of the general, milieu, if you will, from like the 80s and 90s.
They have to have all the rights to get all those things.
Because I mean, in the book, they go into like 80s music and they go into like more than just like Back to the Future. They go into a bunch of different films and television shows and stuff. And it's like, well, the rights for that aren't going to be easy to get necessarily.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm excited to see what happens with that. I want to be surprised and be like, oh, that's a cool reference. I bet there's going to be like 100 videos, 1,000 videos on YouTube afterwards. These are all the Easter eggs you missed in Ready Player One.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some cool stuff. I mean, like I remember watching the trailer and then like I went back and I watched it. I was like, is that Freddy Krueger? And there's like a scene where he just like jumps up and gets like shot, and you're just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah. So yeah,
it's super crazy.
There's some cool stuff there.
I'm looking forward to it. Not over the moon just yet, just because I'm unfamiliar. But yeah.
All right, cool. Then let's move on to our final one we're going to be talking about, a little film called Rampage.
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 Yeah, Rampage.
Not from America.
Yeah.
Directed by Brad Payton.
Stop monkeying around.
Yeah, my phone is buzzing. I apologize.
Your phone is buzzing.
Yeah, this one's got Dwayne Johnson. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, Dwanson. If they didn't have him, I think 90% of America would just be like,
yeah. So, one thing I like about this team up already is Brad Payton and Johnson were together in San Andreas.
True.
And what they know how to do together is cause mayhem in an effective manner. And they did
spectacle.
that. Yeah, spectacle, mayhem. That's what I want to see. And this in a very similar way that I feel like Pacific Rim Uprising is going to be a fun movie. I think this is going to be the same type of thing. I think this is going to be like Jumanji in a sense that that it's just going to be a fun movie that relies on The Rock to carry it.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of fun to that. I mean, it's not taking itself seriously at all.
Yeah.
If you watch the trailers at all, there's corny jokes, but I think there's some cool spectacle moments.
Agreed.
Creatures. I am a sucker for creatures and things that like eat people. So I think that'll be awesome.
Did you ever play the original Rampage game?
Yeah, the arcade games. I played at arcade. They also released a Sega version, I remember.
They did. I used to rent that with my sister over the summer and play that. It was a lot of fun. It's kind of silly. I think, the original one you can probably find online.
Or maybe Super Nintendo. It was either Sega or Super Nintendo. I had both of them, so I don't remember.
They did a remake, and I know it was for one of the systems. Actually, I think it was N64.
No, I didn't have it for N64.
Because I think they did an updated version for N64, but I do remember playing the original one. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And you just go around beating up
and eating people,
buildings and eating people and smashing planes and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I think I said this to you earlier, and I say it in a way that's like, I think this has the potential to be a positively reviewed video game film. We want to see it. Looks like so far we're not getting that with Tomb Raider.
Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna.
With this could be if critics go into it knowing, I think they're going to be like, oh, this is going to be a fun, entertaining. And if it delivers on that, I think it'll be kind of like what Jumanji was. Positively reviewed.
I know nobody can see. I'm smiling because I'm like, I don't think so. But
Joel, get your negativity out of here. I want a win for this video game.
That's what I bring.
It's a video game curse, okay? No video game has been positively reviewed. Video game movie has been positively reviewed, and I want to see it happen.
I'm holding out for Last of Us, something like that. A video game
that's been in production.
I know, but
purgatory forever.
I'm holding out for a video game that is more cinematic in nature already, that they turn into a film, because it's just so hard to take it's the concept of most video games is you want crazy over the top things that you're just like, wow, I would never see this in real life, and that's why you like most video games.
My favorite video game movie is still Mortal Kombat.
Right. I mean, you've got guys shooting out like ice spears, and they put some elements like that in the movie, but I think that movie just did the right amount of tiptoeing into some crazy territory. And I think that's the main problem with a lot of, if I had to throw it out there, that's one of the main issues with a lot of video game movies, is that video games are designed to be ridiculous in a sense. They're not designed to be relatable, because you want to go into a made-up world with made-up things that you can experience that you would never experience in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
No.
So we'll see. I'd love for it.
I'm excited for this movie.
I would say that would be hilarious to me if Rampage ended up being.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
One. Yeah, nobody would expect it.
If there's a lead actor that can like help push it over the top, I really think Dwayne can do it. He's on a roll, man.
He is. Yeah. Jumanji was pretty good.
Yeah. Jumanji was surprising.
He's got another one coming out. I forget the one, but it's the one where it's not this one, but the one where he's in a skyscraper.
That's called Skyscraper.
Is it Skyscraper? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like missing a leg.
Yep.
Which people were already making fun of the poster for that one, because it basically shows him
the physics don't line up.
An impossible jump off of like a crane into the building. And now you found out none of that, but he's missing a leg.
Yeah.
So it's like, how?
Maybe it's bionic.
Maybe it's bionic.
Bionic leg.
Dwayne Johnson. One leg is more than 3 times the strength of everybody else's 2 legs. I don't know. Anyway, so any other thoughts?
No, that's it. I'm excited for it.
I didn't really talk about too much about Rampage, but I think my thoughts are pretty self-explanatory. For
you have the same general thoughts for all the movies coming up. I'm fearful of this one. Yeah. I don't know if I want to.
I would actually say I'm looking forward to Rampage more than Pacific Rim.
Hey, yeah, me too, actually. I am as well.
Yeah, because there's more unknowns about Rampage that I'm like, it's kind of maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
And I try not to approach any review with I've got a list of things that I'm expecting, but it's inevitable.
Yeah.
I mean, they make the movies. They're making Pacific Rim Uprising with the idea that you've seen Pacific Rim,
right,
or at least aware of it.
This one's standalone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Cool.
Standalone outside of the video games. But yeah. Cool. We'll go ahead and wrap things up. Some good ways to get connected.
Yes, you can do that by getting us online at our website, realreviewmedia.com. You can connect with us through there to our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Real Review Media. Then our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheRealReview. And you can reach out to us via email, realreviewmedia@gmail.com. Real spelled REEL, like movie reel, not fishing reel. I guess it could be the same type of reel, but it's spelled the same. So
there it is.
Yes, there it is. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you. And I guess it's been real.
It's been real.